Hi, and thank you for your interest in summer guest housing. The mission statement of our summer guest housing program here at the University of San Francisco is to provide a safe, economical, and comfortable short-term housing service for guests in an atmosphere of quality customer service. We act as a resource to promote USF in the city of San Francisco to foster a positive experience for both guests and staff. Our statement on quality service begins and ends with every member of Conference Housing working together to satisfy our guests. We continually improve our service quality by understanding our guests' needs, structuring our work to fulfill those needs, and by doing the job right the first and every time.
So the purpose of summer guest housing, otherwise known as SGH, is to provide housing for outside organizations that come to USF. One of the main reasons is to build community and create these relationships with people around the area. It's a really good opportunity for students because you get to learn a lot of things professionally as well as personally. And summer guest housing benefits university because it shows off a lot of things that USF has to offer, as well as decrease tuition costs because it brings in so much revenue. Summer guest housing is awesome because it led to a lot of really cool opportunities for me. After working summer guest housing for one summer, I was able to get a job at the front desk for the full year, and I've been working that same position for the past 2 years now. And then it ultimately also led to the position of being an RA. And this is my second year of being an RA, and if it wasn't for the connections that I made during summer guest housing, then I wouldn't be in this position.
So what summer guest housing is about, so USF becomes like a hotel for guests, like for example Jesuit, UCSF postbacks, high school students. They come here to stay with us and we give them excellent customer service at working at the front desk. During summer guest housing I worked with the Jesuits. They were a really fun group. I learned a lot from them. They're not how we think about. Jesuits are like kind of like serious people. They're super fun, very active, interactive with the students. I also interacted with the UCSF postbacks. I'm interested in medical school, and they gave me a lot of insight what the UCSF medical school was about, and they gave me a couple of tips. So it was a definitely great experience to meet people from different backgrounds.
So the FTLs, or the facilities team leaders, are in charge of all of the summer guest hosts. They make the hours for the front desk. They put the summer guest hosts in their rooms. They're the leaders, pretty much. They're the head honchos. They are the people that get emails sent to about certain complaints. They're there to back up their team if they ever need shifts covered at the front desk. They hold summer guest housing together. There's a lot of stuff that goes through them that they do. I would say they're very important to summer guest housing. Obviously there's the guest host, the summer guest host. They work the front desk. They are the direct contact to our customers over summer. As they work the front desk, they check people in and they check people out and they address certain concerns. They distribute the mail. And they also, I would say, well, obviously without them, summer guest housing wouldn't work, but the summer guest host is incredibly important to summer guest housing because they are the liaisons for the university. There's also other positions available as far as linens goes. There's the linen team coordinator. The linen team coordinator facilitates the moving of linen to ensure that there's enough linen for the summer guest hosts, and also coordinates the pickup and drop off of the dirty linen and the clean linen. So I mean, that's incredibly important as well because all of our guests require certain linens, to be there. As you know, obviously there's also a linen team, a group of 3 or so that help do that. The linen coordinator obviously does a little bit more coordinating, and his team does, or her team for that matter, does works alongside with them. The furniture service coordinator coordinates all the furniture being moved around in the summer, especially this last summer with Phelan being redone. There was a lot of triples that needed to be removed, or beds that needed to be moved out of the wall, and broken furniture that needed to be removed and thrown away, and new furniture that needed to be brought in. The furniture service coordinator does all that and directs the furniture service team, actually what I'm on, at the moment. We go around and we deal off people's beds. We throw away things that are, we pretty much do everything that our boss tells us to. As far as on campus goes, with desks and dressers and bed ends, and get to know all that if you work for them. There's also the assistant for hospitality and special projects that does summer events for the guest host for summer guest housing. You know, sometimes work gets to be a little hard, and those events that the assistant for hospitality and special projects puts on are a good way to bond with the team, with the summer guest housing team, and also decompress a little bit as far as stress goes. Sometimes, I mean, that is an essential part of being in a professional work environment like this is. So, for example, you might go to Presidio Bowling and go bowling for an event. Sometimes it's going and seeing a movie in the halls. Sometimes it's going for a hike or having a barbecue. The assistant for hospitality and special projects coordinates all that stuff. Really keeps summer guest housing flowing, if you will. For more detailed information, visit the Summer Guest Housing website for testimonials to hear what other students have had to say about who have held those positions in the past.
The Summer Guest Housing Program does a really good job of taking care of all of its employees. As a staff member, you get to enjoy fun events and programs put on by the Assistant for Hospitality and Special Projects. These events include both in-hall gatherings as well as staff outings. In the past, we've done events such as sushi making, cupcake decorating, a ping pong tournament, rock climbing, bowling, going to movie theaters, and the best part about all of these events is that they're free for employees. As a part of the compensation, all staff members will receive one single room for 12 weeks, unless they are assigned to Loyola Village. If students are assigned to Loyola Village, they will be sharing their apartment with one other staff member. In addition to that, all staff members will also be receiving a residential meal plan as well as a bi-weekly stipend. Also, the Summer Guest Housing Program is all about promoting health and wellness. To advocate that, the Summer Guest Housing Program offers to pay 50% of how much it would cost for a summer gym membership at Corrette, so students will have the opportunity to take advantage of that. It's a really good, well-rounded program.
In terms of my expectations and what I'm looking for people when I consider great candidates for the summer guest housing position, first and foremost I'm looking for a diverse applicant pool. I don't want to have just one type of student in summer guest housing. I think that the summer guest housing program is enriched by the presence and by the gifts of different types of people with different backgrounds that bring different stories and different personalities to summer guest housing, and that's what makes summer guest housing so great. So first and foremost, I'm looking for a diverse group of folks, and secondly and most importantly, I'm looking to people that can really commit to a 12-week program and commit to working for the entire summer and really making summer guest housing a really high priority. I mean, because of the nature of the job and the small teams, it's often really important that the people who work summer guest housing are able to rely on one another to fill shifts and able to rely on one another to fill this really essential role, which is welcoming people to the university and welcoming guests to USF. And so for me, it's really important when I'm considering applicants who's going to be able to commit that summer and what are the things that have going on that summer. And for me, the ideal candidate would really be looking to make summer guest housing what they have going on that summer. But we also want people who have other things going on as well. And there's ways of making that work while also continuing to have summer guest housing be a priority. So yes, I'm looking for a diverse applicant pool of hardworking folks, of interesting, fun people who will bring great stories and great personalities to this job, while also maintaining a level of professionalism, who can commit to a 12-week program, and who can commit to making that 12-week program one of their highest priorities that summer. And I promise people that if they work hard, we will play hard too, and I'm a really fun person, and I tend to hire really fun people to work for summer guest housing as well, and I like to keep it fun, and one of my rules is if it's not fun, we shouldn't be doing it, so everything that we do, I like to make it a lot of fun. So if people work hard and if people make this a priority, I will also work hard to make it a priority to be sure they're having fun and enjoying their summers as well. So. Alright, so vacation and how vacation works with summer guest housing. So essentially over the 12 weeks that you're working with summer guest housing, we've established that within those 12 weeks there are 8 vacation days that each summer guest housing member is allowed to take. Now it's up to each individual summer guest housing student to work with their supervisors, their facilities team leaders, and also the rest of their staff to request those days off and then to get those dates covered. Now, so you have 8 days. Of those 8 days, you can take 3 consecutive days in a row. So that means you kind of spread out your days throughout the summer so that way you're not taking an entire week and a day off all at once. We want you to sort of spread it out because that's what's best for you. And that's also what's usually best for the team as well in terms of getting those shifts covered. So the important thing to remember is that you do have 8 days in terms of your vacation. They can be up to 3 days in a row, and that it is your responsibility as the summer guest housing person, staff member, to get those days covered and to make that work within your shifts. And also on the topic of vacation, I think it's really important to note too, and it's something that I think I want to make everybody aware of ahead of time, is that this is a really unique job and position in that we deal with hospitality and we deal with housing guests of the university. And even though the 4th of July is a national holiday, like other folks that work in the hospitality industry all over the country, our facilities stay running because we still have guests that are housed here. And therefore, the 4th of July is a day that summer guest hosts are expected to work, and that is something that the summer guest host teams for each building work out who will be working on the 4th of July and who will not. But anybody who takes on this role should sort of be making their travel plans and sort of coming into this with the expectation that they may very well be working on the 4th of July. And that is because it is a hospitality-based job, and we've got folks who need services and need housing on the 4th of July who are staying with the university, so that's where that comes from.
The Share Student Employment Mixer is a wonderful time for you to come out and not only meet new people, but also learn all about the summer guest housing program. You'll have the opportunity to interact with full-time professional staff who oversee the program, as well as student employees who have worked for the program in the past. If you haven't already thought about coming out, we hope that you'll join us. Once the summer guest housing program has received all applications, we will then determine who will move to the interview process. Summer guest housing applicants are only required to attend one individual interview. You will have the opportunity to fill out the time slot that works for your schedule. Once completing the interview, within a few weeks, somewhat close to a month, you'll receive notification as to whether you received a position or not. If you're interested in applying for the summer guest housing program, which we hope you are, simply go to the Share website and apply now.
I recommend summer guest housing to you for one reason. If you take a look outside this window, we're on the UC 5th floor. You look outside, you'll notice a crane, a cement machine, you'll notice all this construction that's going on. We're changing the campus forever. If you want to become a member of something that impacts our campus and that impacts you, be a part of SGH.